Hi everyone. I am going to read about Taleah Lowe. One of you had asked me to read about her. I hadn't heard about her case, so I looked it up. Looks like she was an 18-year-old at Grand Valley State University in Michigan, and she did not like water, so her family says. And it's interesting because she was supposedly drowned, went into the water into Lake Michigan at night with a couple friends, it sounded like, and got kind of, taken out by the waves. And that's the story that we've heard. That's the story that it seems the police believe. Now, it does appear the police were called pretty quickly. People are questioning foul play. I don't know who called the police. I don't know if it was her friends or somebody else that was around there. But we're going to read and ask a few different questions. What were the girls doing that night? What we should know about that night? Friend involvement is going to be one of the questions that we ask. Was it a hazing? Because sometimes kids do things like that. Were they just having fun, being careless, which 18-year-olds sometimes do? Um, I'm going to ask about her being swept out into the lake because that's the story and just see what the cards have to say about that. And then I'm also going to just flat out ask about her drowning and we'll see um, what the cards say and where we're taken with those questions. I will say I've been in Lake Michigan. It's cold. It's really cold in the middle of summertime when it's hot out. Lake Michigan is just a cold, cold lake. It's a beautiful lake, but really cold. And they went swimming supposedly in October in the night, which is really, really weird because Lake Michigan is just a lake you want to be really careful in. It can be very powerful and people do drown in it, and that's not unheard of. So there's a lot, you wonder, did the girls, were they drinking? Or was it a weird thing? Some people are saying, do believe it was foul play. So I'm going to read from all angles. We're going to see what we get. I will throw a foul play card in here because I really didn't just flat out ask foul play. So let me do that as well. All right. So I'm just going to ask what the girls were doing that night. Sounds like 3 girls were out together in Michigan. I think it was Marquette. Um, and just, college students out having fun together. So tell me about what the girls were doing that night, right? So let's see what they were doing that night. In October, and I'm guessing she was like new to that college. She was only 18, so I'm guessing she was just brand new. Well, that doesn't look good. I mean, that's the death card right away. And the first thing we pull. So, that just looks bad for what they were doing that night. Definitely looks like they were not doing, how do I say this? Doing things that were safe, that were going to keep them safe. Um, you know, I think they were like playing with death is what's coming to me. It's yeah, let's read a little bit more and see what we get. There's like a phrase I'm looking for and it's not coming to my mind, but it's kind of like it's like playing with fire but playing with death, like even going a little further. Let's see what we should know about that night. What we should know about that night. Well, here's the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords card is you see how she is. She's like putting her hand out, telling somebody to do something. She's kind of bitchy sometimes. And she's very stern and very kind of demanding at times. She also can be very intellectual and very, like that's her strong point. but she's like that boss that's like cuts straight to it. You do this, you do that. I need you to do this right now. That's the Queen of Swords. She doesn't beat around the bush at all. She's very straightforward. So what we should know about that night is I do think there was some kind of what I'm getting is egging on, like somebody, do it, just do it, type thing. So um, again, they're 18 years old. Kids do those things. I'm not making excuses for it, but that I remember when I was 18, you do egg your friends on to do things at times. Um, that's what I'm seeing in that card. Okay, we're just going to ask about friend involvement. Either one, in her actual death, as in on purpose. On purpose. Clearly the friends, we've got one kind of possibly egging each other on in this situation. But let's see about the friend involvement in a manner that was like malevolent. What's that word I'm looking for? Bad. Let's just use the word bad. Okay, friend involvement with bad intentions in mind. Let's read about that. We did start off with the death card, and that's never good. Friend involvement with bad intentions in mind. Well, that's the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles isn't somebody with bad intentions. The Knight of Pentacles is somebody that kind of goes slow. He doesn't rush into things. He's kind of more of a reliable guy. He's a person that you would want to be kind of on your side. In this card, the Knight of Pentacles is, you see him here, and he's got kind of things in the background that he's working on. He's holding kind of what he wants, and he is moving towards that. Meaning he knows what he wants, and he's got his eye on the prize, and he is moving in that direction, but he moves slow. He's not a real fast guy. He's not our impulsive guy. He's more of a um, grounded, get your boots dirty, do what you got to do to get things done kind of person. I don't see any like real like this is telling me nothing bad. This is not telling me anything bad. They may have egged each other on, but I don't know that it was with the intention to get somebody out there and have them drown. That's what I'm seeing so far. Let's ask about this being a hazing, though, because sometimes in college those things happen. I don't know if she was in different clubs or what have you, so let's read about that. Hazing. That is the Eight of Cups. And I was getting images in my mind of this kind of stuff, which is why I hesitated. The Queen of Swords, and then I'm seeing this Knight of Pentacles. It kind of reminds me of somebody who was egging somebody on, and then you see the slow, kind of hesitating person in that Knight of Pentacles, where the Queen of Swords is like kind of giving them, kind of telling them what to do, and this person seems to be a little hesitant. That was what was going through my mind. Anyway, moving on to hazing. I feel this person, Eight of Cups, is walking away from any sort of situation like that. I don't know that she was the type that would have gotten into a hazing. I I know she made a bad decision. I can see that here. You can see the moon, you can see the water that the person's going towards, and you can see it's night. This card really does depict good what happened that night. Or depict it well, I should say. I don't want to call it good. I don't want that to be misinterpreted. Um, and then, she had lots of good in her life. And I see her going and doing this thing. Um, and the moon kind of sitting there watching, like, that's probably not a good idea. Um, and it being dark, just like things aren't real clear, is, with the moon card, that often is the case, that things aren't real clear, the situation isn't real clear, and but this person goes anyway, and that's what I'm seeing there. Let's read a little bit more. Um, I haven't got anything that tells me like this was a bad planned situation. I haven't got a planning card. I haven't got one of the really, really. I mean, we did get death at the beginning, but what were they doing that night? That card does fit in there. But let's read some more and see what we get. We're going to read about foul play right now, so let's see how that goes. Um, okay, foul play. Foul play. Taleah, Lowe, and foul play. All right, so let's see what we have. Taleah, Lowe, and foul play. It's this one at the very end. Well, this card I give for somebody, again, we were talking about these decisions, and cups stand for water too. So 8 of Cups and going towards water. Now we've got the 7 of Cups, and so cups are water cards. They can stand for water and making decisions here. You see some of the decisions are good, some of the decisions are not good. Some of the decisions, the thing about this card is some of the decisions look good, but then they're not. You can see that all of the cups are bright and shiny and look pretty. And some of them, like you see, you just don't know quite what's in them. Like this one has, jewels, and this one has a victory wreath, which is great. But this one up here has a snake. So it's like you're making choices, but you don't quite know what's there, what this choice may lead to. Sometimes this card can be making choices with a little bit of a cloudy mind too. I don't know if these girls were into partying at all. Maybe they weren't. But sometimes this card can stand for that too, being just like not clear-headed. And you can be not clear-headed for lots of reasons. And this card doesn't always mean you weren't clear-headed. It just really means you made a choice and you didn't really know all of the possible, that there could be negative outcomes. So that was foul play. It. I do see this person making a choice. This person making a choice. I saw that in the 8 of Cups. I saw that in the 7 of Cups. Not necessarily seeing foul play. She may have been egged on to do something she was reluctant to do. I do see that. But at the end of the day, so far it looks like it was a choice she made maybe against her better judgment. Let's see about them just having fun and being careless. Okay, so I'm just taking a second to focus on that. Just having fun, being careless. That's kind of what the cards have pointed to. Let's see what we get here. If I get like the 3 of Cups, that's like 3 girls out having fun, so a card like that would be a good fit for that. Well, this is the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is your fate is about to change. So, I do think it changed quick. We see that. And I do think they were just enjoying the moment. And then, boom, I think that, even didn't they say a riptide or something? You think of that as like circling and pulling, and the Wheel of Fortune is moving in a circle. And it does fit well with the theory of what happened to her. That might not be what people want to hear, but that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing this card. Sometimes I do get it for people who have passed. Because look at all these little wings here, the little angel wings, and it happening really quick, like boom, went in the wrong direction, and and they passed, unfortunately. And this is reminding me of the waves and the pulling and just I just think it happened really, really fast. I just think it happened really fast. So um, I really don't think it was planned. I just think from what I'm seeing that they were out being kind of silly and not being careful, and maybe she went in against her better judgment, just being one of the girls and trying to fit in, and things changing really, really fast. And they can there. The water there is dangerous. It's just, it can be, it can be bad really quick. Let's ask about her being swept out into the lake, because that's kind of the feeling I'm getting from this reading. I'm not seeing anything really terrible. Like when I say that, I'm not seeing Five of Swords. I'm not seeing Seven of Swords. Those are like sneaky cards, somebody doing things behind your back. Um, I'm just not seeing like the devil. I, I'm just not seeing it. So let's ask about her being swept out into the lake. I would have expected to see those cards if somebody took her out there with bad intentions, wanting something bad to happen to her. And I'm not seeing those cards. So let's just ask about her being swept out into the lake. So I would expect now a yes card on this, a card that definitely looks more along the lines of a yes card, or a water card would be a really good one. And we do have some real water cards in here. So let's see. Or even like an Eight of Wands card, I could see that being, that's something that happens really fast and boom. Um, it's just, it denotes a really fast situation. So let's see what card we get. And we'll kind of analyze it together and see what we think. So that is the Three of Swords. And I really do think this was just a terrible situation that happened fast and led to a bunch of broken hearts. I mean, there's three broken hearts here, and there were three girls, right? So I do think this just was a stupid decision that these girls made, just being kids. And that's what I see. I see them all heartbroken. I don't see these other girls being vengeful. I see them all being heartbroken, all three of them. I think we're getting the Three of Swords for a reason here. Sure, the other girls, if this is the situation that I'm seeing, just they feel terrible. I'm sure they do. Is what I'm seeing. That's what it looks like. It looks like it happened really fast. Fate changed really fast with that Wheel of Fortune, and then there's all these broken hearts. So it's it's really, it does look like that's what happened. Let me ask about the drowning. And people just will be on the beach, just to give you an understanding of Lake Michigan. If you don't understand Lake Michigan, kids have been swept away just having a holiday. 4th of July out there. I remember one day they were looking for two different bodies, I think a teenager and a young 6, 7-year-old young kid, and they both had been swept out and drowned. And it was like the holiday weekend, I don't know, Memorial Day or 4th of July or something, and they're out there searching for these bodies of families that just went to the beach having a good day. So the water there is not something to be messed around with, especially at night when you really can't see and you can't see how high things are getting, and sometimes a big wave comes in and will take you. It's just, it can be dangerous. So let's talk about her drowning. Unfortunately, let's pull a card for that and see what we get. Everything that I'm seeing here is leading to that, from what I see. And just because her friends egged her on, I do want to say that doesn't mean they thought, oh, let's get her out here for her to drown. I think they were just being kids. Kids do those things. I'm sure I did it to my friends when I was young. Um, you never think of the worst. Drowning. You never think the person's going to get out there and really drown. You just think you're having fun. So yeah, I do think that's what happened. I mean, you can look at this card. It's a card of being in water. Every time I get this card and it's a missing person, I always think, well, how did they look in the water? That's what it looks like. I'll give the flip alternative take on this card, and that is that somebody could have taken this person away. But being that we know that didn't happen and that she was found in the water and we're asking if she drowned, yeah, it looks like it to me. And you see there's 3 people in the boat again. You know, we had 3 broken hearts right here. There were 3 girls there that night. I just think, unfortunately, this was an accident. I'm just going to ask, was it an accident? How about that? Let's throw that in there. It sure does look like it to me, because we did ask foul play. Let's ask for, was this an accident? It just seems like, you know, just, we've all made a decision sometimes that you're like, oh my gosh, you know, that I could have gotten killed from that. Um, let's ask if it's an accident. When I do this, I'm just focusing for a second. I'm like putting away what I just read about and pulling in what I want to read about. So I'm just focusing on it being an accident. I'm just saying, you know, in my mind, tell me about this being an accident. Tell me about this being an accident. Taleah, Lowe. Let's see what we've got in here. It's sad. Tell me about this being an accident. That's the Sun card. It really looks like they were just having fun to me. You know, when you see this card, they were just, I think, having a good time, being free, you know, enjoying being young girls, being just feeling free and feeling like you can just be silly and have fun. And unfortunately, I think, you know, it just went a little too far. Just went a little too far. Yeah, I don't see this as a purposeful thing. I truly don't. What I think was, you know, when I look at this card, you know, you see this little kid riding a horse and they're not hanging on well, you know, they've got their arms outstretched. There's no bridle, there's no saddle, there's no nothing kind of, if that horse took off, you know, what's going to hold that little baby on there? Because he's like, having fun. And that's what I'm envisioning with this situation. You know, there just wasn't, they didn't have the things in place, a life jacket, sunlight, maybe, you know, things that could have helped during the daytime, maybe, that you could have even seen what the water conditions were like. I think it was a kind of, this card stands for being very carefree. And I think she was just very carefree. And unfortunately, I think they all were just being a little too carefree, careless at that moment. And it just didn't have a good outcome. That's what I'm seeing. I'm not seeing it was anything planned. We didn't get one planner card in here, and if you watch my readings, you know there's a lot of planner cards, and we get them pretty regularly. We don't have one in here. It just looks like, you know, decisions were made that weren't the greatest, and fate changed really quick. That's that Wheel of Fortune, that fate changing real fast, and left people with broken hearts. And we've got the 3 broken hearts over the water here. I really think she just drowned. That's what my reading says. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.